First of all, thank you for all these beautiful meditations. And I, as Sudha, need this. And thank you. Thanks a lot. And this is my observation and experience. And I would like, it's not specific to today's meditation, but I hope it's okay to ask. I know if I look at just that moment only, at any point of time, I mean, I know when I use the word time, like as this Sudha, it's complete. There is peace, there is presence, all the beautiful things. For lack of a better word, I want to call it all the truth, beauty, and love. Everything is available in the now. So that experientially, I know, and I have checked it many times. But the but is oftentimes I'm not in the now. And you make the statement oftentimes there is the storyline. And I realize that I'm in the story a lot during my transactions in the world. I'm quite a bit in the story. And some of it is required, essential things as a body, mind, having to fill gas, whatever, if somebody asks a question, or as a parent being there for your children and things like that. However, I know I'm in the storyline more than what is needed. And that seems very real when I'm in the story. Like that seems so real that whatever this Sudha is experiencing is the reality rather than the reality I've investigated during all these meditative experiences. All the feelings, sensations, and all aspects, both good and bad, happiness and anger, frustration, all those things. And so the storyline seems so important. To me. And depending on the time duration, sometimes I'm involved in the story's character, believing that's me for much longer than. I don't even know what is longer, but I personally feel, I've stayed in it too long. I would like your input on that. Yes. Or I don't like being in it that long, and I just want your take on it.
Yes. So when you say that I was in the storyline, what you are sharing is that there was awareness that Sudha was a character in the story. So you are actually speaking about awareness of, that I am in the storyline, or I was in the storyline. So it's a moment of awareness, right?
Now, it is moment of awareness now when I'm talking to you.
No.
But when I was originally in the storyline, I was thinking I was Sudha. There was a separate me.
Yes, but when you're in the storyline, there is no awareness that you are in the storyline. You actually you're riding that horse. You're
yes.
So when you're in the storyline, you're just busy riding the horse in the in the right direction.
Yes.
And that's fine. That's one thing. That's what's happening. But then there is a moment of awareness. Oh, I'm in the storyline. And then there is a thought, oh, I've been in the storyline for the past 20 minutes, for example.
Exactly.
5 hours. And this thought that I've been, in the storyline for 24 hours, that is a moment, there is awareness of that thought.
Yes.
In other words, for you to say to yourself or to me, well, I was in that storyline for 24 hours. That means there was awareness at that moment. And what matters is the awareness. There is awareness of a storyline. There is awareness of a thought that's saying, "Oh, I've been out of touch for 24 hours," and it can go on. For example, there could be the next thought, which may appear in awareness, which you become aware of, that, "Oh, I shouldn't. I should stop. But at this point, I should not be in the storyline. I should not be in the storyline." So I invite you to simply notice awareness, not so much its content that, oh, there's a moment of awareness of the storyline, awareness of time, awareness of I shouldn't be this way, awareness of a sensation in the body. It's because awareness is not in time. We say awareness is not in time. And we overlook that. Somehow the mind wants to stay in the camp of, oh, awareness is just a concept, but that's not true. The thought that I've been, out of touch, for the past hour, that thought cannot appear outside of awareness, has no reality outside of the reality of awareness. So the invitation is for awareness to recognize itself in any small dose, big dose, whatever, to recognize itself. The recognition that, awareness. Not the recognition of the me story. Oh my God, the me, I meaning Suda, the body mind Suda, has been out of touch or has been in ignorance for. Ignorance is the belief in ignorance. Ignorance is the belief in the me. So rather than at every opportunity noticing awareness, and instead we go into the me who is failing, because a me that is failing or that is improving, either way is not what we're talking about. It is not that which really puts a smile on your face. It is awareness which always puts a smile on your face, because then you laugh. You can laugh at it rather than going into the me story. Oh my God, I'm not improving. I'm not getting better. This I is the story character, is the character, the me character that is not improving. But there is no me character. There is no, and this whole idea that I am never not here, that I'm in the story, even that is ignorance. That very belief is ignorance. We are never in a story. We're never in a story. Awareness never leaves itself. It's always on, even when it's choosing to get into the me narrative. And then, I am doing this, I'm that, my life, my future, my past. Even when that is going on, it's not possible for that to go on in any way without awareness, without presence. It is not possible to share what you shared and to be aware of what you are sharing without the awareness of that. So where does that leave us? Your interest is in love, peace, and happiness, in truth and understanding, in freedom and joy. Your interest. And that interest guides you. It's your light, it's your guru. Your interest and your love for truth is your guru. And it's there, it's available to you. Fine. We go into the me story, and then there is a moment of, there we go. There goes, how am I doing? What am I doing? And there is a moment of awareness. And it's our love for truth which brings this awareness of the awareness. Be aware of that awareness. Value it, notice it, dress it up, in garlands, put it on the altar. It's the awareness that you love. Because the awareness is not a me story. Awareness is reality. Awareness is everywhere and everything. It's no one and everyone. Yes. So, and notice that one of the aspects of the ignorance is regret and feeling like a failure or success, or that whole body of measurement and evaluation and inner judgment is how the maintenance of ignorance.
You nailed it. That's exactly this, because whatever happened last evening, this morning, I woke up, or even before I went to bed, I knew that I spent too much time on my me story, and I was so perpetuating this me idea more by feeling bad about it.
Yes, judging yourself in a subtle way, that, okay, I'm unworthy or not progressing, and
how could I be even get drawn into it like that?
Yes.
Acting that's the reality when I have no proof that's the reality.
I mean, the me narrative is very sneaky. If it senses that, okay, this doesn't work with Sudha anymore. Let me see how I can get her into, so pull a new trick on you.
Yes.
It's all the same family of tricks. It's all like bundles of thoughts about me and me in time and me in the past and me in the future and him and her, and it's that family of thoughts that are embedded in the belief of a me and the world that there, or me and others, the sense of separation. And because of our interest in truth, our interest in freedom, our interest in joy, already ignorance is on the brink of annihilation, because our love is no longer for that. It may draw us here and there, but our love is not in that. Our love is not in the me story, how I was, how I will become, my tribe, my family, my country, my nation, my body. Our love is no longer in that. Our love is for truth, for God, for reality, for universal beingness, universal joy. So it's always a fresh way in which you can be with what appears to you. You can discover a new way with what appears to you. A thought may appear to you about me, is a new way of being with it. One of the ways is to be still. In time, you find your own. I just recall that in my case, this inner stillness was very precious in my case, but you find your own way. My guess this inner stillness allowed whatever was appearing to appear, but I wasn't jumping on the wagon. I chose somehow to explore being still and not defining myself in any way, not defining myself in any way, just as the stillness. And to see, to see how that approach unfolds for me. You find your own experiment, but because you already are set deeply within your heart in your love for truth and your understanding that truth is really what matters, because your heart is already set there, you will find some ways for you to not be swayed by that wind, not to be taken by that wave. Rather, you're just watching the wave rather than being holding on tight to your raft in the middle of the wave, you see. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Sudha.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Mina.
Hello, Magdi. Thank you so much for this beautiful conversation now. And I agree. I have the same judgments, and sometimes I'm doing things in daily life. Then I think suddenly, what am I doing here? This is not in service to this and that, to this awakening. But now, when you were discussing, it hit me like I saw that this awareness that I am is never changing, is never lost or better or worse. It's always the same. And this other so-called me, this story me, can never be better or because it is not true.
Right.
Because it is like made up, and it will never reach this state of this I, because it's like two different realities. It's like oil and water.
Yes, it's just a structure.
They will never go together.
Yes, and the understanding about awareness, about being, is love, because the understanding is that there is one reality, and this reality is not phenomenal, it's a numinal reality, and that this aware presence is it, and that it's not personal awareness, it's just awareness. It's just, and because there are no borders, no edges to awareness, that means it encompasses everything, and that's love. Love encompasses everything. So in terms of helping humanity or being of service, it is of service. It is the service. It's already served. That dish is served within your understanding. That dish is served. You don't need to do anything. It's done. It's done.
Yes.
And these moments of awareness where we're aware of whatever it is, be aware of this awareness. Cherish this awareness. Cherish that rather than the content of thoughts and the world and body-mind events that are constantly changing. Cherish that which is changeless, eternal, universal, formless, absolute.
Yes.
It bypasses the mind, but the mind without awareness, what is it? What are thoughts, sensations, perceptions without awareness? You see? Yes, there are two different levels, as you said, two different levels. And is the understanding about reality somehow brings everything together. It dissolves all levels. It's like the Turiya, which is beyond all states. All states refer to Turiya, to that which is not a state.
Yes.
Like the weather. There are so many different states of weather, but these different states of weather are just movements in that vastness, in that formless. I sometimes speak of the wide open sky, as a metaphor. That the wide open sky is all allowing and never trying to fix the weather. It is actually the dreamer of all dreams, using the dream metaphor. The various states and the various experiences. The me stories are dream stories. Like when you wake up, nothing has happened, nothing. But in the night dream, there are also of things seemingly happening, and that's fine. That's just the dream state, the understanding, the awakening, the realization is that it is a dream state, and that the character, the quotes unquote me character, and the other characters in the dream are not separate from the dream. It's one texture. It's one tapestry. One tapestry, and that realization, that understanding, removes from the dream the thorn, the negative emotion in the dream. You see, because in the dream, it can be a sweet dream, there can be an anguished dream. So the sweet dream is very beautiful, just dream movements and events, images, sensations. Without the thorn of identification and ignorance, you see. And the waking state is like the dream state. So in the waking state, this knowingness, this understanding about the noumenal reality that is real, alive, that which is and cannot not be, that which right now perceives and knows it perceives and knows it is, that living understanding sweetens the waking dream. It removes the thorn out of the waking dream. It doesn't remove the dream, because consciousness is infinite freedoms. It includes removing the dream, or this waking dream, this human, quotes unquote, human waking dream. All possibilities. But the thorn of ignorance is removed. Now, You have to be careful not to make it a goal for the mind, because the mind will create a goal, say, oh, yeah, okay, I got it. I know what to do now. No.
Yes.
See, we have to sort of like notice those tendencies that are like all tendencies of, oh, wait a minute, I think the me character is getting something. See, I can do. See, but when we speak about non-doing, it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean non-doing? Just being and being aware of being aware. It doesn't sound too much like a doing. But even sometimes the mind will make awareness a doing, an activity. Says, oh, I need to be aware. So it's this, which is like, again, taking this formidable, borderless reality and trying to personalize it again.
But when this is always the point of the I see like that this me person can never be improved, can never reach a state. This is the mind state. But what I see is that the more quiet, or the more how can I say, the more quiet the mind gets, the more possible becomes that this awareness becomes aware of itself. Because a very strongly moving mind, it's like the water. When the more the water is clear and quiet, the more you can reflect in it. And when the water is shaking always, there is no reflection possible. You know what I mean, what I want to say.
Yes. But the me character is just something that's appearing to you. There is no reality. There is no real me character. Yes? It's just,
yeah.
Character is a belief, a field of thoughts and sensations, and a belief in this moment. There has always to be this moment of belief in me character. But our experience, there is awareness, and there are thoughts, sensations, and perceptions. There is no me character. There is thoughts, sensations, and perceptions. Right? So the
appearing in awareness.
Awareness appearing as that, let's say. Okay, there are no actual things appearing in awareness. It's the ocean appearing as waves. Okay, so it's awareness appearing as that, but
yeah,
the understanding that there is no personal self. There is a body appearing, a perception and sensation of a body named Magdi or Mina.
Yes.
That is a movement, a creative movement of the ocean, a creative movement of consciousness in this moment. A certain image appears. And so there isn't like a progress for some. There's nobody progressing or regressing.
Yes.
Out of the ignorance that, oh, well, am I meaning this belief structure? Is this belief structure progressing or regressing?
Yes.
Belief structure either is on board or it's not on board. When it is on board, well, there is the belief structure, a me belief structure, and of course a sense of contractions within the body. Okay, and when it's not on board, there's just this conversation. There's just the universing. So be sort of a little watchful about this progressing, to let go of that notion, and to sink deeper into not knowing.
Yes. But in a way, now I'm feeling like this story is completely made up. That there is no story, because in a way, each moment this wave is coming in a new way.
Yes.
There is no, maybe I can say the Mina from yesterday, 8 o'clock in the evening, is no more.
Absolutely.
There's
Yes.
something completely new now.
So,
And this is always like that.
it's always like that. Once you come to that understanding about the nowness, the living understanding about the nowness, it's always awareness.
Yeah.
There is no time in being, in presence.
Yeah.
In awareness, there is no time.
Yes.
It is not in time, you know? Yes. So time meaning memory, remembrance, or images appearing to you about yesterday or whatever. There are movements appearing in the now, within the now. But this does not mean that the now is going to now start to exist in time, because a certain memory is appearing about yesterday or a year before.
Yes.
It does not mean that awareness now is going to unfold in time. Awareness never unfolds in time.
Yes.
Yes, as you said, right. There is no, in presence, there is no Mina, there is just awareness. Just,
Yes.
just
Yes.
the formless.
Yes.
But again, in order to be more in line with our experience, we also include the body mind, that there are appearances, there are thoughts, sensations, perceptions, there is the world, there is the mind, there may be infinite other worlds, but there is one reality, the reality of consciousness, awareness, which is not in time.
Yes.
And it's our truth. It's our experience.
Yes.
That this perception is appearing in a non-perception. It is appearing to a non-perception. It is appearing out of the non-perception to the non-perception, and it doesn't transform the non-perception into a perception. The non-perception is untouched by its creativity.
Yes.
It's like the ocean doesn't become something else because of the waves. It's a metaphor. It's the ocean remains the ocean.
Yes.
Waveless or non-waveless, small waves, big waves, white waves, green waves.
Yes.
And at the body level, there is this relaxation, which follows the understanding, the relaxation of the body or bodily sensation into the space, the relaxation of the breath, the whole nervous system comes to different order. It's no longer defending or protecting anything. It's just the universe universing. And the body and the universe are not two. Made out of the same essence, the same substance.
Beautiful.
the world, body, mind appears to us, images on the screen, the movie, the lila. Yeah. Lila. All is well in our recognition. And some lovely birds in the background.
Yes, it's evening now, and these last birds are singing their songs. It's beautiful. I'm so grateful, Magdi. Thank you so much.
Hello, Ivan. Yes.
Hi, Magdi.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
So it's the first time I'm here. I heard about you from Francis, but a few days ago, yeah, on social media there was a kind of also a turmoil having to do with the post you posted today, and you answered at a certain moment. You answered to me. He's hurting about somebody. And I couldn't understand. I'm not a native English or speaker, but then I looked it up and I read he's hurting means actually not so much he's hurting like he's causing suffering, but also he's hurting, he's suffering. It means it means both. I think in English, is it or is it if you say he's hurting, it means he's suffering, or is it also he's causing pain?
Yeah, I think it can be used to mean both. Holger would know better than I would. I'm also not a Native American,
right?
But I think it does mean both. I'm hurting could mean that somehow there is an inner angst, and also hurting when there is a saying that says that. Fearful people are the most to be feared, something like that. That when we experience fear inside, somehow something projects outside. But yes, but if I recall the way I wrote it, meaning that there is an inner angst.
Right. So, but it was interesting first to see this double meaning. Actually, like this two go together. But then reading your reaction and which came out of love, my question is, even this reaction who came out of love, is there a sense of identification there? And what's the difference between this identification which starts from love and this identification which starts from hurt? I think that's a bit my question.
Yes.
Okay, can you act even if you're not at all identified? This is a bit my question.
Yeah. See, when there is identification, there is some limitation. Because the body-mind is not completely open. There is a camp. We favor a camp. And as a result, by the very fact that we favor a camp, means we favor less what is outside of our camp. So any form of identification does not represent the freedom of the self, our true freedom and our true identity, our true being. Now, the question is it possible to express oneself and to have some opinions out of a place that is not identified? And the answer is yes. If that is the question, the answer is yes, of course. Because in the absence of identification, there is still intelligence. There is still there is love, there is compassion, there is understanding, there is honoring my freedom as the freedom of everybody equally. There is honoring fairness for myself and for everybody. So yes, there is this these qualities of consciousness which are available to us. The appreciation of beauty, the appreciation of compassion are available to us. And yes, we can definitely express ourselves and act from a place of non-identification, from a place of love and understanding. And that is a beautiful way of expressing ourselves, by the way, because what we are expressing from a place of love and understanding and freedom and beauty carries that flavor, carries that perfume, carries that invisible message, which is a message of love, understanding, compassion, and freedom. That's what truly touches the heart, is that the message that comes from love. And when we are coming from identification, we can sense within us a certain inner contraction and a certain emotion. And it's a good thing to be aware of that, because as truth lover, we're interested in truth. We're interested in freedom, love, and beauty, and understanding. So it is important for us to notice within ourselves the messages that come within us, that maybe we don't like to see them, we don't like to notice them, but it's important to notice them. Those inner signals that are saying, hey, wait a minute, Magdi, where are you coming from here? Take a break, take a pause, take a look. Where are you coming from? Are you coming from love and compassion, understanding? Or are you coming from a camp, from your identity, the identity of the body-mind?
And is it so clear to recognize that? You can say, okay, my action or my reaction comes from identification with justice or with truth but somehow if I feel that there is some pain there, some anger there, it also shows that there is some personal identification too. So it's like both are mingled, or it can reflect some political things in the world, can reflect your own pain, which you recognize of being let's say being hurt or being how we say neglected or being put down, whatever. So it touches you because you yeah, it's your own pain. So this you got
yeah.
Humiliation. I mean, yeah, this aspect. So how is you? There's anger coming up because you feel somebody is humiliated, and it's your own humiliation which you recognize in a way.
Yes. We can sense each other's suffering, it's easier for us to sense that when we are not identified. Because when we are identified, we're only aware of our own. We're not in touch, we're not available to the others, how they're feeling, what's happening with them. And if we believe in justice, it is important to also be open to understand beyond your understanding, to be available to understand the other, to listen, to see where they're coming from. Because justice can be also a dry concept. It has to be it has to encompass how the other is perceiving the situation. So yes, the concept of justice for all, equal justice for all, is a very good concept. It's a good thing for humanity to guide itself with that. And in fact, I remember there is this during demonstrations, people say something about freedom and justice, no freedom, no justice, something like that. They combine freedom and justice. Yes, it's freedom and justice are, but it has to be for everybody equally. Freedom and justice for everybody. We have to be available to understand that we may not see the whole picture. In terms of being, I forgot the word you use, like being humiliated. Humiliated. If you are humiliated, it is only what you believe yourself to be that is humiliated. You cannot humiliate me as what I truly am. You can humiliate what I believe myself to be. If I believe myself to be somebody everybody needs to bow to me, if you don't bow to me, you're humiliating me. Or anyways, I think you understand what I'm saying. Humiliation only refers to ignorance. It does not refer to our true self. So I am personally always available for whatever unfolds. If you want to, people sometimes get upset at me. It has happened, and they sometimes even speak to me in a certain way that is humiliating. It's not a problem, because my interest is not in the personal self. My interest a long time ago has left that arena. I'm only interested in love and truth, and sharing, because we're all together, we share my understanding. Now, in some cases, in particular with the case of what's happening in Gaza, I have made it a point to, because I do have roots in that region, in Palestine and in Lebanon, I have made it a point to study and to spend, I would say, hundreds of hours. I don't mean 10, 20 hours, hundreds of hours in studying the topic, in educating myself, so that I have an understanding that is much broader than my Middle East propaganda or the Western media propaganda. I wanted to make sure that when I'm speaking or sharing or listening, I'm referring to data, to fact, to studies, to historical, facts, to documents. And I'm finding that it's a very rare thing among people. It seems that most people do not have the degree of interest to deeply study the topic and speak from, a conversation. It's educated conversation. Rather, there is an emotional aspect to their point of view, or an inflammatory aspect to their point of view, or a shallow aspect, because when I ask for evidence, I don't get any reply. I'm drifting here. I think that your question was more about being able to engage in various topics without identification and without feeling that I'm being humiliated. Yes, it is absolutely possible. And one thing is, in my case, because I do have a certain sense, it's hard to really describe it. It's sort of an inner I have an inner sense of the certain values of the culture in the Middle East. I find that that is part of my makeup as a body mind, as a person. I do have that sense of the culture that people from other culture, they have a sense of their culture. They don't have the sense of my culture. That I understand that, and that is part of the makeup of this body mind, and I take that in consideration. In other words, I acknowledge to myself this cultural, I wouldn't call it bias, but this cultural effect. There is a certain cultural effect. But I recognize it to be a cultural effect of the body-mind that has nothing to do with, in fact, what we truly are, that we all are that same reality. We are the same love, the same consciousness, and deep down, what we want is peace and happiness for everybody, deep down. Now, this doesn't mean that we're operating from that place, because there are many layers of conditioning, and we may be wrapped up in a certain belief structure or a certain information field that impacts our capacity to reach to that deeper level where we want love, peace, and happiness, and freedom and justice for everybody. Anyways, I think I'm maybe wandering in my reply to you, so I will stop for now and listen.
Thank you. It's good, yeah. But you answered my question. Thank you. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, we all love peace and well-being for our children, our family, our friends, and when I grew up in Lebanon, I grew up in those years before the civil war, before the Palestinian issue became, major issue in Lebanon, before the Syrian occupation. Lebanon just had people from all religions, all tribes, people from Africa, people from Cyprus, from Germany, Switzerland. There were people from everywhere, people from Iraq, and Jews, Christians, Muslims, Sunni, Shia, Druze. It didn't matter. People like working the land, fishing, and all sorts of businesses and markets and olive groves and orange groves and grapes and wine and watermelon and, oh my God, the oranges, the mandarins and the nectarines and the almonds. Oh my God, the almonds and the carob trees. It's just a country of just, people working and everybody. It's coexistence. There was no Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Sunni, Shia. None of that. None of that. None of that. I mean, I'm talking about before 1960. That's way back. But no, it's as if there are world powers that don't understand this language. Hello, Meg. I noticed you had your hand up. You see, you may be muted.
Thank you so much. I just feel so relieved to hear you talk about Gaza.
Yeah, it breaks my heart.
Last night I was, thanks to many things and thanks to Satsang, I'm really working to distinguish, what's Meg's orientation, of years of activism and blah, blah, blah. What's the fixation? Like, where's orientation? Where's fixation?
Yes.
And where's like the freedom of life wanting to express itself through this instrument in this time? And so last night I was, with the World Central Kitchen and everything, I was a lot online and communicating with people and reading and posting and reading, and got in a conversation with a friend, and I can feel the vehemence of the body minds. I can feel a vehemence in the body mind, opinions and emotions. And so for the first time, maybe not for the first time, but I was grateful for a loosening that I could say, and I know that I don't know. I know how limited my scope is. I have incredibly strong feelings about it. And I know that part of that is the person that hasn't really worked up strong triggering about it all, and impotency. And as an American, it's like, it's excruciating.
I mean, we're all, the whole planet is witnessing something very painful, and the outcry, the humanity is outcrying for stop. Let's stop and just stop for now, so we can, I don't know, breathe. Is because I express myself. I'm careful not to do it on certain platforms which are have to do with non-duality, because I don't want to turn it into political debate, you say. No. But I did express what I expressed, yesterday. Was it this morning? I don't know, yesterday. Because I feel that what's unfolding, is part of our work, how we respond to it, how we look at it, how we speak about it. And I try really hard not to speak from a place of, identified. Of course, I'll be the great candidate to be identified. My grandparents were Palestinians. So.
It's just such such an enormous energy in the moment.
Yes.
That I almost always just feel somewhat frozen if it's not just named. Yeah. So I just feel so grateful, and I imagine we'll probably visit this again. Thank you so much.
This has nothing to do with religion. It's because I know for a fact that people can live together with different religious practices, beliefs. It's something else operating, something else. Anyways. And I'm sorry for our friends, my friends, who are Jews, Jewish practice Judaism, if they feel that I have wronged them in any way.
I have the feeling you are totally fine. You're so gentle and considerate, and please, I mean, this whole thing, it's crazy, and it's a challenge.
Yeah. It's difficult for all of us. Well, we send the love, the peace, but that's the best we can do. Okay, I love you all. Thank you all. Very lovely, Holger and Meg, Mina, Suda, Anisha, Charles. Hello, Rahul. Yvonne, nice to meet you, Yvonne. Holly, Lynn, Julie, Varsha, Liliana, hi Liliana, Jackie, Laura, Megana, nice to meet you, Megana, Vitze, and my sweet Tara. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magdi. Thank you, everyone.